Alright, so in this problem we want to evaluate the expression, and we have the value of x here, and we're going to plug in the value of 5, which is x, into every x that we have in the expression and solve. So we have 4 times 5 plus 1 in our first numerator divided by 3 times 5 minus 1. And we are going to add it to our second fraction, which is 3 times 5 minus 1 divided by 4 times 5 plus 1. Alright, so in our first numerator, we have 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 1, which is 21, divided by 3 times 5, which is 15, minus 1, which is 14. And so that's our first fraction. In our second fraction, we have 3 times 5, which is 15, minus 1, which is 14. And in our denominator, we have 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 1, which gives us 21. Alright, so we have two fractions here that we can simplify, and all of the numbers, 21 and 14, are all divisible by 7. So if we divide everything by 7, we have 21 divided by 7, which is 3, and 14 divided by 7, which is 2, plus our second fraction of 14 divided by 7, which is 2, and 21 divided by 7, which is 3. So now we need to add these two fractions together in order to find or evaluate our expression. Now we can either turn them into decimals right now, because all of our answers are written in decimal form, or we can first add the fractions together and then convert to decimal form. So we will solve using both ways. If we turn it into a decimal form now, we have 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5, plus 2 divided by 3, which is 0.666, and it goes on forever, so we are going to turn this last 6 into a 7 to round up. Alright, so now when we add 1.5 plus 0.667, we get 2.167, which is going to be our final answer and corresponds with A. Now the second way to solve this problem is to create a least common denominator between the two fractions, add them together, and then turn the mixed number fraction into a decimal. So if we do so, our LCD, our least common denominator, is going to be 6. So that means that we need to multiply our first fraction by 3 in the numerator and denominator, and our second fraction we need to multiply by 2. So our fractions are going to look like this. We have 3 times 3, which is 9, divided by our denominator 6, plus 2 times 2, which is 4, divided by our denominator of 6. So now when we add these two fractions together, we just need to add the numerators, which is 9 plus 4, which gives us 13, divided by 6. Now we need to turn this fraction into a mixed number and then a decimal. So we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does 6 go into 13? And that is twice, and we have 1 left over out of 6. So now when we turn this into a decimal, 2 is going to be our whole number that's in front of the decimal point, and we have this 1/6, which is 0.1666, and that goes on forever, but we are going to round to our third place, and therefore we are going to get 2.167, and that is going to be our final answer, and both methods give us the same answer, which is answer A.